that's incredible. Where do you want the tee to end up on a good drive?
The tee, that's a very beginner question. That's hilarious. I've never heard that actually. So props to you for asking something I've never heard.
I'm not a golfer, but there's perhaps nothing sweeter than ripping a long drive like that. And even though they say drive for show and putt for dough, truth is there's real money to be had in driving far. The longest drive of all time was hit by a guy named Mike Austin.
How long is your longest drive?
My longest drive is 515 yards, 1974, playing in the U.S. National Open Seniors.
I'm not gonna try to break it, but the average tour pro, he hits it about 295 yards. So, I've got 2 days, and I'm gonna try to get there. I'm Clay Skipper, and this is Above Average Joe. For this challenge, I'll be following the rules of a long drive competition. I've got 2 minutes to hit 8 balls, and the goal is to hit one at least 295 yards. As always, I'm going to need some help, lots of help. So I'm bringing in Troy Mullins, an incredible pro golfer and one of only 4 women to hit the ball more than 400 yards. That means she has some practice doing nearly impossible feats, which just might come in handy in trying to get me to hit a ball 295 yards. I'm meeting up with her at 5 Iron Golf in New York. This is my coach right here. To show her what I'm working with, if anything at all. I'm with Troy Mullins, long drive champion. You're gonna try to get me to 295 in about a day here?
That is the goal. I haven't seen what you're working with yet, so I don't quite know if that's possible.
So give me a goal for today. What are we gonna try to get me to?
For today, let's hit it over 200.
All right, then you feel good?
And then I'll feel good.
Okay.
I'll feel a little more confident.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
All right. So to start things out,
yes, thank
there you go. All right, let's just see what you do on your own with no instruction.
Wow, pressure's on. Yikes.
That's okay. Another one.
110.
Okay. So let's start with 3 basics: grip, aim, and posture. Let's talk about the different grips and how you get there. So first thing, we want this resting in these 3 fingers. And this is gonna control your club, this whole thing. So let's try, yeah. Do you feel that? So make sure this whole part is tight. Awesome. Now your right hand is gonna give you direction, right? Whether you turn the club over, whether you hold it open, that's all directional with that right hand. So this is standard, right? Where the V's of your thumbs are pointing at you.
Okay.
But you kind of already have a strong grip. And a strong grip means you show 3 knuckles and your right hand's a little more under. And then lift it up for me. And you have an overlap, which is fine. So make sure that connection is really good. So I'm coming into the ball. I'm gonna left hand grip it. Look at your target, right hand grip it. And make sure that this connection, this V, is connected. So the second step is your aim.
Great.
I notice you have no awareness of where you're aiming.
None at all.
So there's different types of ball flight. Do you know what those are?
No.
Okay. So there's a straight ball, which rarely anyone hits.
Okay.
There's a draw, which means it starts to the right and falls to the left.
Okay.
And then there's a fade, which is it starts to the left and ends right.
Well, in a driving competition, would you use a draw like in case there's wind or something? Or
typically you can sometimes get higher club head speed with a draw.
Okay.
But if you have good club head speed and you know, athletic enough, you can still get the same distance out of a fade.
Okay.
So certain golfers like a DJ or Collin Morikawa will only hit a fade. But then there's also other golfers that will hit the draw because they think you can get more topspin and roll.
Okay.
If we wanted to hit a draw, I would have you close it. So this is called a closed stance.
Okay.
Where your right foot drops back.
Okay.
And then the fade is you bring the right foot forward. But for you, I just want to start
square.
Square.
With a grip and square.
We want your feet parallel to what we got here.
Okay.
Now let's talk about posture. Bring the driver up. Perfect. Do you see how your body is square? So we want to hit up on the ball.
Yeah.
Because up is going to give us some distance. Your head and your shoulders need to be in alignment. So I don't want your head to go this way. So we're going to start here and then go down. Okay. I know that seems foreign, but do you see how it opened up the face?
Yeah, as opposed to that.
So I want you to imagine hitting this ball under here.
Okay.
So like when you're looking at this ball, look right here.
Okay. Where should the ball be in my stance?
So because I have you square, I want it to be inside your heel.
And like shoulder width apart?
Let's be athletic.
Be athletic.
Position.
All right.
It's
like basketball or something. Yeah.
Oh, run that way. No, there's no way your feet would be this narrow.
Like
okay,
that?
I like that. Yeah. But see how you went from like, okay, I got set. Feel a little bit more athletic. Less like, I'm about to hit a golf ball.
And I'm terrified. Cool. Yeah.
So what did we work on?
It's grip.
Ball position, posture. What are we doing with the posture?
Tilting.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And where are we looking on this ball?
Right to the back and underneath.
All right, we're gonna have to talk about the other stuff too. We're gonna talk about takeaway. I'm gonna take it away, transferring my weight to this side, but my arms aren't really doing much. I'm gonna take it back all the way up until you get to like this position. I kind of want to see where you're at from here.
Okay.
Oop, slower. Now you're gonna bend this wrist. Just allow it to bend. Yep, supple, supple, supple. Ready? Go.
Yeah.
Bend that wrist. Cool. Extend, extend, extend. Yes. There we go. Ready?
Yeah. Ah, it's in the hips.
Yeah, so your weight's still gonna be in this hip. Feel it as if you're crunching this pocket. So when you come down, you're gonna have a separation of your hips and your shoulders.
Okay.
So your hips are gonna fire. Yep. And then you drop it all down.
Okay.
Left arm straight, straight. Bend the wrist, cock the wrist. Awesome. Look at that. That looks so good. That looks really good. Now, separate the hips. Hips down, 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 down. Yes. Lift up the left foot. Let's see. Go back. Can you lift it? Good. Now hit it. Hips. Yes. So you're hitting it a little to the right. How can we get it to go a little bit back to the left?
Shift my stance.
Let's
maybe?
try that. Oh, Clay, it's so close. It's so close. For anybody driving the ball, one of the most important things is making impact, right? Because you can get your club speed all the way up and hitting it toe or heel, and you're really losing maximum distance.
Okay.
If you want to see where you're connecting with the ball and
Yeah.
where you're hitting it on the face, you can use like a foot spray or a dry shampoo, anything that has talc, right?
Okay. And so this will show you where I'm striking the ball.
We get to see if you're actually hitting the sweet spot, which is
I have a hunch about that.
the center of the face. Just try and focus on hitting the center of that face. Okay, let's see. So here's the problem. Yeah, so he's hitting it back here.
The sweet spot right there on the left.
This is the sweet spot.
Uh-huh.
Dead center. Remember, we're gonna weight transfer to the right
Okay.
and then let it go. Weight transfer. Okay.
There we go. That was
Okay.
closer. Not
Getting-
quite the sweet spot.
It's closer. Hips. Go. Better. Where did we hit it?
Underneath.
No, same spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Make this thing look good. Felt good, right? Let's
Yeah.
see. Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah! Look at that! Really feel impact. Whoa, look at the ball speed jump.
All right.
Oh!
I got angry on that one.
Right, maybe you need to figure it out.
Okay, so you have helped me tremendously, as we can see. Obviously, that was a lot today.
Yeah,
So what should I
gave
keep
you a
in
lot,
mind?
and I'm
I know.
impressed that you came away
Well,
with
thank
this.
you.
Really, let's work on a routine. So I want you to step into the ball every time with that grip, with a target in mind. For you, a little bit left of center
Okay.
is fine. I want you to work on ball position. So inside the heel for you is great. And then work on that weight transfer. I think for you, I want to get you connected
Uh-huh.
rather than just thinking it's an arm thing. It's a
Yeah.
full body thing. If you're not doing core and not flexibility, you're really missing out on some distance. Tomorrow, I want you to stretch in the morning.
I'll do my best.
Okay, good.
Since Troy said I needed to get stretched out, I figured I could use some yoga. Luckily, Troy hooked me up with Beth Cooke, an expert yogi who had designed a program of stretches specifically for golf. If she could loosen me up, I might have a shot at hitting it just a bit further.
Draw your right knee up and over to the left, and you can cactus your right elbow out to the side. Supine twist. It'll get you all ready for your swing. It'll loosen up the hips, loosen up the low back. This one's real fun. We call this one toe breaker. Roll up to the tops of your toes and lift your knees up. Dip one knee down a little bit and then the other knee down. So it opens up the top of your feet. It gets into your ankles. These are just better ways to stay grounded. So
Yeah.
you can plant yourself into the earth for your swing. We're gonna take something called Kapalabhati breath work, known as skull shining breath. It clears out any nonsense in the brain, any junk that's caught in your brain.
What's it called?
Kapalabhati,
Kapalabhati.
also known as breath of fire, also known as skull shining
All
breath.
right. I'm gonna stick with breath of fire.
So hands in 2 little cups, and you'll reach them up towards the sky. You'll take a big breath in through your nose 1 time. Exhale all the way out through your mouth 1 time. And then as you exhale, your navel is gonna pull up and in as you shoot the breath out your nose. It looks like belly pumps. So this breath work tends to mimic anxiety, like a panic attack, which buffers you and gets you ready for putting yourself under pressure in real life.
The breath of fire tomorrow. Should I actually like sit down on the golf course and do that?
I say yes,
Okay.
Go for it. Clear out your energy. It'll flush out your mind and then you're clear, good to go. Good luck out there.
Thank you. I hope I make you proud.
Unfortunately, I can't stretch my way to 295. And after 5-iron, I'm starting to think this just might be one of my hardest challenges to date. So, noticing just how desperate my situation, my producer sent my practice swings to Collin Morikawa, winner of the 2020 PGA Championship. Getting his golf skills to rub off on me might be my only hope for hitting 295 tomorrow.
Hey, Collin, thank you so much for hopping on a call with me. I see you were actually on the course there. I think you've been told about my challenge, but the goal is for me to hit a 295-yard drive. I'm curious, when you hear 295, is that like, oh, that's pretty routine? Because I think for someone like me who doesn't play a lot of golf, that's like, damn, that's far.
295 sounds short, to be honest. When you see the tour driving distances for us, you're actually just seeing 2 holes that they measure our distances off, and they average those 2. I think that's a great goal. It's going to be farther than a majority of people you're ever going to play with. But for us, 295, pretty average on the short end for sure. I'm sorry to tell you that.
No, I appreciate the honesty, and I appreciate you putting it so gently and diplomatically. Any advice or tips you have how to get their swing to a place where they can hit 295?
I think one of the biggest things is contact. Can you hit center of the face? And I think that's where it starts, because if you can't hit center of the face, I promise you we're not even gonna hit it or carry it 290, because it's just, we don't have the speed. The clubs aren't made to be hit off the side of the face, where, you know, a majority of people do hit it off the tee.
You've seen some of my swings?
Yeah, I've seen a couple. I think one went straight right and you were indoors, so very dangerous for other people around. Oh. So your takeaway, I wouldn't really change anything about your takeaway. And that's what's really good, because a lot of people have crazy takeaways. You have flexibility, you have rotation. That's the biggest thing. How do you get to a full swing here, right? How do you get to your backswing? That's step one. I would have guessed you were actually, you know, a golfer that has played for quite a bit. Obviously, Troy Mullins has kind of done her work with the first lessons she gave to you, so props to her. The next move on the downswing is where I kind of just like cringe, which is probably bad. But you do this thing called casting. So you take it back, you take it great, and then you cast it like you're casting a fishing line. You lose all your power. You look at some of the longest drivers, Bryson DeChambeau, Cameron Champ, I love, because they hold the position from when they're at the top and they hold it down. So they hold this wrist position and they just keep rotating until they get to the ball. I'm not saying you need to hold it all the way as long as you can, but just by casting like this, when you go like that, it just, I knew you're not gonna hit it far. That's gonna be a hard thing, because think about it. You still have to get all the way back to the ball. You've lost all your power on your backswing once you cast like this. And now you have the entire space from about shoulder height all the way to the ball to somehow generate more power all through your lower body. I think if you watch a lot of golfers, you really won't find any, even if one that does that.
I know there's so many parts to a golf swing, but I'm curious how you address the ball, how you approach the ball. Just take me through what you're thinking and how a good swing should go.
I mean, obviously driver, longest club in the bag. So, you know, guys slightly have a wider base, a wider stance, but it's all about ball position. You know, you have to get comfortable with that ball position, kind of up forward, almost on your left heel, kind of just inside. Everyone varies. You see some guys that are on their left toe, some guys that are just farther inside, left center, but keep it up in that front part of your stance, because that's obviously what I told you earlier is gonna help you hit up on the ball. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to hit up on it, create loft. Club has enough loft. You're not trying to get the ball up, but to get that distance that you want and the ball to go that 300 yards, you gotta hit slightly up on it. Tee it up high. So, you know, balance is gonna be the biggest thing. Like I said, how do you get back to center contact? Are you gonna start on the toe, heel, center? I'd mess around with everything. I mean, where do you make contact with the club?
Troy applied some dry shampoo and I was hitting it like way to not the toe, whatever the opposite of the toe is.
The heel, near the hosel. So I'd start it really far on the toe.
That looked like it went 295.
I hope so.
Another thing I definitely want to get your take on is I'm anxious. I'm like, I want to get 295, but I'm a head case. So what tips do you have about like how to calm my nerves, how to get out of my head, how to zero in on the ball?
To be honest, you know, nerves, I think everyone has them. It's all about kind of channeling that nervous energy into something else. You know, how do you channel nervousness into excitement? So you should be excited about trying to hit at 295, not nervous that you're gonna fail. We all fail, especially, you know, if you're scared of failing, you're absolutely in the wrong sport. You know, we lose way more times. I mean, obviously Tiger probably has the best winning percentage out of anyone, but even then, you know, we're losing so much more than we win. So for us, it's about finding the positives, finding the enjoyment of just slowly getting better.
I'm gonna do my best to make you proud out there. Between you and Troy, I have some great coaches on my side here.
No, I think you're gonna be just fine.
All right, I'm almost ready for my final challenge. Troy's taking some hits back there. Troy.
Yeah.
You know, are you familiar with the breath of fire?
What is it?
Do you want to learn it?
Okay.
It's a little goofy, but you got to buy into it.
Okay.
Okay, so full inhale, full exhale, in through the nose, out through the mouth.
Okay.
Exhale. And then we're gonna pump for 100.
100?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, inhale. Pump. You stopped.
I can't.
You don't feel the fire?
No.
This is it, final showdown.
Yep.
We know the distance, 295. What are the rules of a long drive championship?
The rules are you have 2 minutes to hit 8 balls, and it has to be in the fairway, and it has to be 295.
Okay.
But I'm hoping for 240, 260 from you. I think that would be great.
How many rounds do you usually have in a real tournament?
Well, in the final championship, the women can have up to 10 rounds
There we go,
in a day. I don't want to kill you though. So I say we do about 4 rounds and see how you do.
Okay. When does the 2 minutes start? Can I tee the ball up and then it starts? Or...
You can tee it up, back up like we talked about,
Okay.
envision your shot and walk into it and the time starts.
Okay. Any last minute tips here?
I think you should step back, check your line, and walk into every shot with a purpose.
Okay.
And then kind of let go of all the swing thoughts I told you and let it rip.
All right.
All right, it's straight, it's good. 122. Woo! All right, you landed over the hill, 210.
Take it.
Oh! A little bit out of our fairway, but
Oh, boo!
maybe a little bit left, same thing. All right, pick it up. That was so good, though. All right, you got your sight?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. All right, you got it in the fairway, 219.
Wow.
Wow, Clay.
Give me that one.
I'll give it to you. Oh man, 211.
What? Ah! That's out of bounds.
Oh, Clay, that was so good. About 240. Oh, now we're so close. I like the aggressiveness. Oh man, it's rolling. It's rolling. 230.
All right, we'll take it. Round 3, here we go. Out of bounds.
These are all really good, just leaking a little bit.
Oh. Oh.
It's okay, you teed up a little far from it. Yes!
That might have gone 290.
Oh, 207 inbounds. All
Oh.
right, Clay, final round.
Final round.
How do you feel?
Feel loose.
Good, all right.
Nothing to lose.
Let's do the same thing.
All right.
All right, so you hit it straight. No rush, you got time. Look at that target. All right, maybe tee it just a little bit lower. So far, that's 3 dead straight, so I'm really not upset
That's
about it.
Oh, I got this.
You can take a breath. Take a breath.
Oh.
Yes! Oh my God, this is so good. 267 inbounds. All right, this is your last ball. Oh!
coach. Most importantly, are you proud? Did I
I'm
make
so
you? All right.
proud.
Well, this is a credit
So
all to your
proud.
coaching. All right. What was my max distance there?
267 today.
All right,
You went
that's
from
good.
80 yesterday
Uh-huh.
to 267.
Yeah, like
so
60.
it's so impressive.
It felt good once I just started like loosening up and ripping it, and I actually surprised myself. I got like a little angry at the ball.
I heard a grunt in there,
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
which was really cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was good. Thank you.
Of course, this was so much fun.
This is awesome. Technically, I failed, but this is about the happiest I've ever felt failing. Now I think I've caught the bug. I may actually end up playing some golf or just at least hitting drives. A big thank you to
Beth Cooke for loosening me up, to the good people at 5 Iron,
good people here at Centennial Golf Club, and most importantly,
to Collin Morikawa, and to Troy Mullins, who's not only a wonder driver, but a wonder coach.
and got me to do something I never thought I could do. So thanks to her. Thanks to you guys for watching. Until next time, signing off.